In the 1950s, the aviation industry was in a fervent pursuit of speed, and after humans mastered supersonic speed, they naturally pursued even higher speeds. The United States proposed the 3X Supersonic Interceptor aircraft program, but it was cancelled in the late 1950s due to cost and other issues. Meanwhile, the F-106 Delta Dart all-weather interceptor, with a speed of 2.3 Mach, entered service. Lockheed saw an opportunity and proposed to the Air Force to develop a 3-times supersonic interceptor based on the A-12 high-speed aircraft. The A-12 was the predecessor of the supersonic reconnaissance aircraft State Route 71 Blackbird, and the developed interceptor was the YF-12. The YF-12 was very similar in appearance to the A-12 and State Route 71, with the most noticeable change being in the nose section. This is because, unlike the reconnaissance aircraft, the interceptor needed to be equipped with radar equipment for combat and an additional seat for the equipment operator. The YF-12 eliminated part of the original fuselage structure on both sides and expanded the nose structure. The space originally used to accommodate reconnaissance cameras and other equipment was modified to accommodate the N/ASG-18 radar equipment, which was originally developed for the XF-108. The A-12 was designed for a single pilot, but for the YF-12, an additional cockpit was added behind the pilot. The internal bay in the fuselage could carry 3 Hughes Aircraft Company AIM-47 Falcon long-range air-to-air missiles. These missiles used active radar guidance and were originally prepared for the XF-108 interceptor. They had a maximum speed of 4 Mach, a combat range of over 160 kilometers, a weight of 371 kilograms, and could be equipped with a 45-kilogram high-explosive warhead or a W-42 nuclear warhead with an explosive yield of 250 kilograms of TNT. The missile had the capability of supersonic launch. Initially, the plan was to ignite the missile after it separated from the aircraft, but during testing, it was found that launching the missile this way could potentially cause damage to the interceptor itself, so the method was changed to direct ignition. A total of 80 of these air-to-air missiles were produced. In the mid-1960s, the YF-12 conducted 7 live missile launches, with 6 of them hitting the target, including one at nearly 23,000 meters altitude and 3 times the speed of sound, hitting the target head-on. During wind tunnel testing, it was discovered that the modified nose of the aircraft led to decreased directional stability. As a result, a large, foldable stabilizer was added underneath the fuselage, and a fixed, smaller stabilizer was installed below the engine compartment. As the only interceptor capable of flying at 3 times the speed of sound at that time, the flight tests of the YF-12 were very satisfactory to the U.S. Air Force. In 1965, a plan to produce 93 production models was proposed, and Congress approved an allocation of $90 million. However, the production plan was rejected by the Secretary of Defense, one reason being the involvement of the U.S. military in the Vietnam War and financial constraints. Another reason was the belief that the U.S. did not need this type of interceptor. In reality, the situation for the YF-12 interceptor was indeed difficult at that time. Initially, the U.S. was concerned about being attacked by a large-scale bomber fleet, but with the emergence of intercontinental ballistic missiles, the YF-12, which could intercept bombers but not missiles, had lost its value. Although it was developed from the mature technology of the A-12, the cost of production and operation was still not cheap. Lockheed built a total of 3 YF-12 prototypes, with the first flight taking place in August 1963. One was lost in a fire during a flight in 1971, and another was damaged beyond repair during landing. Some parts were collected and used for the SR-71C. The last one was handed over to the Air Force Museum for display in 1979. The YF-12 interceptor had an empty weight of 27,600 kilograms, a maximum takeoff weight of 56,200 kilograms, a length of 30.97 meters, a height of 5.64 meters, a wingspan of 16.95 meters, and accommodated 2 crew members. It had a maximum flight speed of 3.35 Mach, a maximum altitude of 24,000 meters, and a range of 4,800 kilometers.